Agnetha goes funky disco pop. Hey! So, today I want to talk about Agnetha's 1983 single It's So Nice to Be Rich and P&B, which is the name of the movie that both songs are featured in. I will give you my opinion on the songs, but we'll also talk about their use in the film itself. So the film's title track, P&B, is a very unusual Agnetha song. I always liked it, and it somehow reminds me a bit of an old Western-style tune, perhaps because of its mysterious opening and all those fiddles. But I will now mainly focus on the single A-side, It's So Nice to Be Rich. To me, this song is really fantastic, and there are many reasons for that. First of all, the general style. It is very upbeat, it's a funky disco pop tune with electronic elements, and I really love the synthesizer and the bass playing. Now, interestingly enough, both songs were produced and arranged by Rutger Gunnarsson, who was very important in ABBA's backing band as a bass player. I couldn't find any information if he played bass on these two songs, but it is highly likely, and I think we can assume that he did. A second reason why I like this song so much is of course Agnetha's voice, especially how she does her own harmonies again, something that she would very often do. There is also a shorter alternate mono mix of the song with a cold ending that appeared on the 1998 compilation album That's Me, The Greatest Hits. This was in fact how I got to know the song in the first place, so when I first listened to the original single version, and still to this day, I feel that there are some superfluous moments in it, not that there is anything wrong with that. But the shorter alternate mix is somewhat tighter, while the single version to me always felt like an extended mix. And when I think about it, this song would have been a perfect song for an extended remix, and it's strange that they didn't do it. What's even more bizarre is the fact that it was only ever released in Sweden, when it could have been a big hit all over Europe the following year, especially since we didn't get anything else from Agnetha in 1984. In the film itself, strangely enough, the song P&B, which is the title track, is barely played at all. It appears twice around the middle of the film, but only for a few seconds in the background, while It's So Nice to Be Rich is constantly played throughout the entire film. Once in the beginning for 1 minute, then again around the middle of the film for 2 minutes, and towards the end for 1.5 minutes. And that last version is definitely the most interesting one. It has that cold ending, but it's also different to both versions we know. It has a different edit in the drum patterns towards the end, and in all three film versions of the song, Agnetha's vocals, especially her harmonies, sound more prominent in the mix. It's also really unusual that one and the same song is so often repeated in a film. But it also reminded me of the 1968 film The Graduate, featuring the music of Simon & Garfunkel, and how often we get to hear some of their songs in that film, especially Scarborough Fair. Both films are classified as comedy, but there's also a melancholic feel to them, and to repeat the same song over and over again has a very monotonous feeling and fits so good to that overall atmosphere. The big difference is that Agnetha's song is very upbeat, but when you think about it, the film is basically about a monotonous daily routine life, so the frequent use of It's So Nice to Be Rich makes it even more dramatic or very cynical, which is also reflected in the song's lyrics. Agnetha always wanted to do songs for a film soundtrack, so this seems to have been that opportunity, although some 25 years later, one of her first songs, För Sonade, appeared in the Swedish horror film Låt den rätte komma in English Let the Right One In, and I think this melancholic song fits perfectly in this very atmospheric film. What do you think of this very special single and the use of Agnetha's music in films? Let me know in the comments below. Alright, until then, hey do!